Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Retro Pop Planet. How well do you know your holiday classics? Here are 5 Christmas songs that were recorded in New York City. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. These are the opening lyrics to the Christmas song sung by the indomitable Nat King Cole. Perhaps no other song on this list evokes Christmas in New York City more than this one. When I filmed this segment, it was a brisk 17 degrees in Manhattan. The song was written in July of 1945 by Robert Wells and Mel Torme on an impossibly hot day in Los Angeles. Hoping to cool off through songwriting, Bob and Mel said the song was completed in less than an hour. The Nat King Cole Trio first recorded it in 1946. A bit of a perfectionist, Cole recorded it several more times, and the 1961 stereophonic version is the definitive one that is played repeatedly during the holidays. This recording was released on 1961's LP The Nat King Cole Story, and then in 1962, a reissue of the 1960 album The Magic of Christmas. Surprisingly, the song peaked at number 11 and didn't enter the top 10 for the first time until 2023. From 1949 to 1961, Capitol Studios owned and operated Studio A here at 151 West 46th Street in the Eaves building on the first floor, one up from the ground level. During that time, the Eaves Costume Company occupied the ground floor. The space is now occupied by the John Baltimore Music Company, Inc. According to a Manhattan Sideways article, the shop owners have had their own celebrity clientele through the years. In 1981, guitarist Chris Butler wrote a song for his band The Waitresses, which would become immortalized in pop cultural history. Sung by bandmate Patty Donahue, the song is about someone that's so burned out by the year that they're willing to take a pass on celebrating Christmas. But the beat of the song changes when the narrator bumps into a cute guy at the store buying cranberries. The band, which started out as a side project in the late 70s, had been out on the road performing and promoting their first huge hit since the summer of 1981, I Know What Boys Like. I know what boys like. The co-founder of their record company, Michael Zilka, wanted the band to release some original Christmas music for a compilation record with other bands on ZE Records. The band was booked into the Electric Lady Studios in St. Mark's Place in New York City. Hey, what's up guys? We are out front of the Electric Lady Studios here in Greenwich Village. Butler, in later interviews, admitted that he dreaded writing the song because he was a bit of a Scrooge about Christmas anyway and didn't think he had much to contribute to the season. Aside from youthful family drama, as an adult freelance writer, he always found the holidays to be stressful, having to produce articles for newspapers and magazines all through the month of December just to make rent. Over the course of 3 days at Electric Lady Studios that September, the band produced a song which combined a swirl of musical genres prevalent in the New York City music scene at that time, a combination of jazz, funk, reggae, punk, rap, and pop. Butler didn't cut Donahue any slack either, as there are so many lyrics over the course of 5 minutes, most of the lines never repeat. It's a song you probably won't hear in many modern-day Christmas pageants. Many of the instruments are multi-tracked to give the listeners an audio sound more reminiscent of a big band. It also hides some of the flaws in Donahue's lyrical delivery. At one point, she runs out of breath. Can you blame her? The song was almost an immediate hit after hitting the airwaves, and the band would continue to perform the song live until their breakup in 1984. In 1996, Patty Donahue died of lung cancer at the age of 40.
So this is Christmas.
So this is Christmas, and what have you done? Is the haunting opening line that John Lennon sings on the Plastic Ono Band's 1971 song Happy Xmas, War is Over. A protest song about the war in Vietnam that was a culmination of 2 years of peace activism by John Lennon and Yoko Ono. An acoustic guitar demo of the song was recorded by Lennon in his rooms at the St. Regis Hotel, where he and Yoko had been living. Recorded on the evening of October 28, 1971, at the Record Plant East in the Theater District at 321 West 44th Street. 30 children from the Harlem Community Choir recorded backup vocals on October 31st, when the photograph on the US picture sleeve was taken. Originally released on Apple, which was the label formed by the Beatles in 1968, the song was delayed over publishing rights. Upon its release, the US single charted poorly due to limited promotion. Much more successful in the UK, it peaked at number 4 on the singles chart in 1972. It hit number 2 after Lennon's death. The record plant is also the last place that John Lennon and Yoko Ono visited before returning home to the Dakota on the night of December 8, 1980. The song has been covered endlessly and is among one of the most popular singles in Lennon's short career as a solo artist. This next entry is less of a song and more of a vibe. Guy Lombardo and his Royal Canadians rocked the Roosevelt Grill in the Roosevelt Hotel at East 45th and Madison Avenue for decades. Between 1927 and 1954, it's estimated that Lombardo sold over 100 million records across all the record labels he was ever affiliated with. He was a fixture on radio, at presidential inaugurations, in concert, on tape, and before his death in 1977, co-hosting New Year's Eve shows live from Times Square with Dick Clark. A Canadian band leader hailing from London, Ontario, Canada, he began a series of New Year's Eve radio appearances live from the Roosevelt Grill in 1929. These performances lasted 30 years. He had several holiday albums and a New Year's Eve album released in 1973, which I own on vinyl. The Roosevelt Hotel closed several years ago, but the building still stands. In 2010, I made a site visit with a group of co-workers to the hotel as we were looking for a venue for a conference we were working on. You could tell that the rooms were once very stately, but had fallen into disrepair. The lighting throughout the hotel was dark and eerie and didn't match the vibe of our event. We toured the grill, but I unfortunately didn't retain any of the photos that I took. If you're looking for a backdrop to your next holiday party, you can't go wrong with Guy Lombardo and his Royal Canadians. It takes a lot to write a chart-breaking, internationally beloved, super-powered pop song, and one about Christmas to boot. Released as the lead single on her fourth studio album on October 29, 1994, Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You is the first and last song you hear each holiday season. The song blasted at number 6 on the Billboard Adult Contemporary charts that year. It has reached number 1 on the charts in 30 countries and earns Carey millions in royalties each season through streaming. With urging from her record label and then producer husband Tommy Mottola, Mariah Carey began writing the song in the summer of '94. With the assistance of her frequent song collaborator, Walter Afanasieff, the duo shopped ideas and recordings back and forth through various studios over the next few weeks. The final version was recorded at the Hit Factory in this massive 100,000 square foot building at 421 West 54th Street. The company was eventually relocated, and this building is now a condo community. The song is a jubilant affair that has elements of pop, soul, R&B, and gospel. Whether you find it annoying or celebrate it for its warmth, pop grandeur, and the positive spirit of Christmas, the self-proclaimed Queen of Christmas had an enormous hit in 1994. And the lasting appeal of Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You is undeniable.